Dzień dobry I wesołych świąt. That's good day and Merry Christmas. My name is Klara Rawdanowicz. I'm 23 years old and I'm part of the Rawdanowicz family musicians.
I was born in Poland. I came to Australia when I was about 10. I met my wife. We married soon afterwards.
I was 10 years old when we came from Poland. We practiced all the Polish traditions around Christmas, but all the other feast days, and we went to Polish church. When our children came along, they picked up all the traditions from the beginning. They really enjoyed many of the Polish traditions are quite fun for the kids. So that came very naturally because we did it as a family. They loved to follow them every year.
In this episode, we have prepared 4 songs for you. 3 of them are Polish Christmas songs. We've tried to cover a range of styles, as even though love of Polish music has its origins in the folk music from the highlands and from the different regions, it's definitely expanded. So there's a lot more styles and more modern instrumentation in some of them. We hope you love them. One of the songs we've prepared for you is called O Gwiazdo Betlejemska. The direct translation is that O Star of Bethlehem, and my younger sister will be singing the solo for that.
Zaświeć nam na niebie, ja Cię szukam wśród nocy, ja tęsknię do Ciebie. Prowadź mnie do stajenki, gdzie Chrystus złożony, Bóg człowiek z Panny Świętej, dla nas narodzony. Prowadź mnie do stajenki,
Children expressed musical talents from a very early age.
Music is something that brings our family a lot of joy.
I am so grateful for how much music has helped our family bond. I have been playing music since I was 4 years old. I started off with piano. My mum taught me on piano.
I play 7 instruments: piano, violin, double bass, drums, flute, and marimba.
And I play the trumpet, cello, and I sing as well.
I started on piano. I play clarinet, viola, saxophone. I also arrange music for different various ensembles, but mainly my family band, where we play different Christmas carols, Polish songs.
And I'm very proud that the children are older, they can actually share their faith through their music. It was a very special time for me when Clara started to play in our cathedral during the youth adorations. I always get very moved with that. All celebrations are so much more special with beautiful music. So it's a form of evangelization, I think, and I'm proud of my kids that they've already started to do that. Hope they continue to do that all their life and they expand on it. They're preparing currently to go to the World Youth Days, so I know music is a big part of that as well, and hopefully they'll get to sing beautiful songs with other young people all over the world.
Music in all its forms was a big part of my life throughout my childhood. thanks to my very persistent and consistent parents, they helped me to develop a sense of self-discipline and resilience. It brought me so much joy once my younger siblings started growing up and I could finally play with them. I was sometimes the only one practicing at home at first, and then my next brother joined in, and then the third brother, and eventually it was hard to find time to practice because everyone needed the music room. So it was always really busy, but I loved it. Even though there's struggles and sometimes it's hard in rehearsals and we argue, when we are on stage and the lights are on us and I look over and I see my siblings by my side, it's just all worth it. And it brings me so much joy. I always find that when I am singing something faith-related, it all just works out so much better. The next song we've prepared for you is called Przysiadło Słonko. Directly translates to the sun sat by, and the lyrics talk about how the sun rays sort of came and rested on Christ's manger. So as you can see, the lyrics are so deeply linked to our faith. I love the Polish carols because there's a lot of joy in them, but it doesn't stop at the joy. It goes deeper and it looks at the deeper mystery of the incarnation and what we should learn from that.
Przysiadło słonko na Jezuska żłobie. Nie płacz, dziecino, łzy osuszę tobie. Ogrzeję liczka, bajdurkę zanucę, zamian się
Christmas has always been a really big event in our family.
My parents and grandparents took a lot of care in order to continue the Polish traditions that they brought with them.
One of the things I miss about Christmas in Poland is that it's normally the middle of winter, so it's very cold, freezing temperatures, often there's snow, so you have the beautiful white Christmas, which obviously in Australia we don't. So that took a little bit of getting used to not having the snow and the white Christmas.
Christmas was always a hustle and bustle of making meals and preparing decorations and singing carols, and it was always just such a joy-filled time.
I always remember setting up the Christmas tree, adding all the chains and all the decorations, and that was really fun. And I always enjoyed putting up the angel on the very top of the tree.
It's just such a lovely way to welcome Jesus into our life by singing beautiful Polish Christmas carols in front of the altar and with the beautiful decorations of Christmas trees around us. Just the beautiful smell of the fir trees, the beautiful live Christmas trees that fill the air with lovely aroma. It's It's just such a lovely feeling to
It's always been something that I've looked forward to. You spend it with your grandparents and other family members. You come together for Christmas Eve, the Vigilia. It's always a big event, and you know, we sing carols, go to church, and just spend some time together. And it's really enriching.
And co wciąż jej szuka do Twej stajenki, pokornie zapuka, choć ścieżki do niej nie zawsze utarte, a buty nieraz od błądzenia zdarte. Choć ścieżki do niej nie zawsze utarte.
Vigilia is the Christmas Eve that we celebrate on the 24th of December every year, and it's one of the most important and most special days of the year for the Polish people. There's many different traditions involved with Vigilia. So one of our favorite family traditions during Vigilia is the sharing of the opłatek. So the opłatek is the little breads that are made especially for Vigilia, and often they are imported from Poland. They're made by nuns in monasteries, and they resemble the bread that we use during Mass. We get them in little pieces and we break them together, and as we do that, we wish each other good health and blessings and whatever wishes we want to share with each other. It's a good time to reconnect with each other, especially if there is extended family members that we don't see very often. So it's a good time to reconnect with each other, and if there's any family quarrels or family divisions, that's a time, symbolically, that's a time where we reunite and we make peace with each other as well. So it's a very beautiful tradition that we always have loved in our family, and we always follow it every year.
The crib is the main decoration on the table in Vigilia. During Advent, then children put a piece of hay into the crib each time they do a good deed, so that on Christmas Day, when baby Jesus lays down in it, then he can have a comfortable bed.
Normally in Poland, the vigil starts with the rising of the first star.
The table for Vigilia should have an empty place setting set aside. Now the empty place setting symbolizes either family members that cannot be together with their family during the celebrations, but it also symbolizes the need to think about being welcoming to visitors. It's meant to remind people about how good the world could be if we were so welcoming in our everyday life.
Most of the dishes are vegetarian too. There's a lot of fish, there's a lot of cabbage and lots of mushroom ingredients. The vigil we try to have as Polish as we can. As the mother of the house has the most important role in the kitchen to prepare all these wonderful meals.
When it comes around to Polish Christmas, I usually spend a lot of time in the kitchen preparing the traditional foods. Most of the traditional dishes I know how to cook were taught to me by my grandma. There's 12 dishes to symbolize the 12 apostles, and all of them have no meat in them. So that's why there's a lot of cabbage, mushrooms, and fish. Our family usually prepares 2 different soups. Borscht with ushka, which is beetroot soup with little dumplings. Mushroom soup with handmade noodles. Baked salmon parcels, which is just salmon baked in puff pastry. Fish in jelly has some vegetables mixed in with the fish. Marinated herrings, smoked salmon, pierogi with mushroom and cabbage filling, dried fruit compote, which my mum usually cooks, and kutia, which is a mix of barley seeds, poppy, honey, and some chocolates. Desserts are poppy seed cake and babka. At the moment, I'm making the handmade noodles to the mushroom soup, and they are basically just flour with eggs, a little bit of water and salt. They are usually just rolled out and cut by hand.
Sometimes it's quite hard because we're preparing these wonderful meals with wonderful smells and tastes that we really shouldn't be tasting because we're fasting. We have a tradition that we fast 24th of December, so the whole day. The children don't have to fast, but generally we fast as a whole family. So we let the children obviously have a little bit to eat, but not too much. And when they get older, when they understand the significance of it, then they join us in the full fast. It tastes so much better after a fast too, so it's delicious.
Panie z wysokiego nieba, hej, żeby na tym stole nie zabrakło chleba, hej, żeby na tym stole nie zabrakło chleba, nie zabrakło chleba, nie zabrakło gruli, hej, ani tej miłości do naszej matuli, hej, ani tej miłości do naszej matuli.
So when we finally sit down to our beautiful vigil meals, it's the time when we already start celebrating the birth of Jesus. So we already during the vigil are starting to be joyous and celebrate Jesus' birth.
The English Christmas carol Away in a Manger, and my youngest brother Albert will be singing the solo for that, and we chose him for that because the lyrics are from the perspective of a child. Christ tells us we should be like children in our faith, looking up at God as his children like we truly are.
Jesus lay down
pasterka. The pasterka is literally translated as the shepherd's mass. So it is related to the fact that the shepherds were visited by the angels to tell them about the birth of Christ. The main Mass is at midnight, but earlier Masses are also held for younger families so that the children can get to bed. And it was really a Mass that is all about, that has a biblical text and carols that relate to the joy of the people at the birth of Christ.
One of the songs we'll play is by our favorite Polish band, Golecu Orchestra. The song is called Łokarenki Fujareczki, which is about a song how shepherds come to the stable and play music to baby Jesus on various instruments they handmade, such as flutes, horns, and drums. It's a very joyful song.
Maciek przy łowieckach późnym wieczorem, kiedy nagle rozgorzała łuna nad borem. 1000 trąbit jak sarmatów naraz ryknęło i ze snu na równe nogi syczka stanęło. Łokarynki, fujarecki, skrzypki, dudy basy, przygrywajcie z Jezuskowi posyściutkie casy. Przygrywajcie z Jezuskowi posyściutkie casy. Janiołowie całą górmą z nieba spłynęli i przy struchlałych pasterzach rzędem stanęli. Nieopodal w lichym żłobie dzieciątko kwili. Zbierajcie się do stajenki, cas mu umilić. Łokarynki, fujarecki, skrzypki, dudy basy, przygrywajcie z Jezuskowi posyściutkie casy. Przygrywajcie z Jezuskowi posyściutkie casy. Łokarynki, fujarecki, skrzypki, dudy basy, przygrywajcie z Jezuskowi posyściutkie casy. Przygrywajcie z Jezuskowi posyściutkie casy. Muzyka!
Christmas is a season of joy, and I hope that through music you feel some of that joy. And I wish joy to all who are listening or watching, not just a surface happiness, but a deep joy, an unwavering and stable and constant joy through all of life, because Christ is real. He came down, he was born, he lived among us, and he loves us. So have a very Merry Christmas. Wesołych Świąt.
Fujarecki, skrzypki, dudy basy, przygrywajcie z Jezuskowi posyściutkie casy. Przygrywajcie z Jezuskowi posyściutkie casy.
Wesołych Świąt!
Skrzypki, dudy basy, przygrywajcie z Jezuskowi posyściutkie casy. Przygrywajcie z Jezuskowi posyściutkie casy.
You can't always. This is the death mark.
Turn back towards God. Rise up.